A CBS 2 investigation facing discrimination because of who you are and what you look like. It's something Arab and Muslim Americans have long grappled with in the U.S., here in Chicago, too. The community has also suspected police surveillance for decades. But now, for the first time, a groundbreaking report from Chicago's Arab American Action Network confirms those fears with data. CBS 2 investigator Megan Hickey has an exclusive first look.
You are being targeted. You're being targeted because of who you are and how you dress.
Do you ever get the feeling
how did this report even get written?
that you're being watched?
And you can go your whole life not knowing if you are in the database or not.
It's almost like it was normalized through our community to have been targeted and harassed on a daily basis.
And you just expect it. Taking photos, working outside, standing on the street, pretty normal activities we do every day. But why are some people being reported for doing them?
We were made aware of these reports that were coming out about people are even in our own communities.
19-year-old Majid Madaraha, 24-year-old Rima Rostam, and 19-year-old Nadia Alifai used to have a unique after-school activity, an extracurricular they volunteered for, reading through hundreds of suspicious activity reports, or SARS for short. If you've never heard of them, you're not alone. How are they made? Look no further than this document on the federal government's website, which encourages the public to report suspicious activity to local police departments promptly to help prevent violent crimes or terrorist attacks. This document vaguely points out taking pictures or videos or having multiple cell phones as examples of suspicious behavior. One of many programs put in place by the U.S. government in the years after the 9/11 terror attacks, costing taxpayers $2 million at the time it was created in 2007 and claiming to make communities safer. But is it?
And then when they asked the father about
Majid, Rima, and Nadia found that being suspicious had a lot less to do with what you're actually doing and a whole lot to do with what you look like.
I would say that SARS is a form of racialized surveillance that's targeting the Arab community.
Let's take a step back.
I definitely think that most Americans don't know.
How did they actually get these reports?
We looked at the FBI and ICE, and through just digging and digging and digging, came across the suspicious activity reports.
That's Muhammad Sankari, lead organizer with the Arab American Action Network, or AAAN for short. Majid, Rima, and Nadia are all members too. But it wasn't easy getting the reports.
You had to file a lawsuit against Illinois State Police. What was the original reason they gave for denying your FOIA request?
The national security exemption.
With some gumption and the help of some talented lawyers, AAAN got their hands on 235 reports from the Chicago Police Department and Illinois State Police made between 2016 and 2019. They painstakingly read through them all and discovered a disturbing pattern.
Middle Eastern, olive-skinned, Arab, or Muslim.
More than half of all the reports described suspects of Arab descent, which is significant in a state like Illinois, where Arab Americans make up just over 1% of the population. And it's not just Arab Americans. About 70% of all reports identified people of color, a perpetual source of anxiety that they're being treated differently, something they've always known, but finally, and for the first time, confirmed with statistics.
It's like hard proof that, we're not just making this up, this is actually happening.
Their findings were published in this 30-page report released today and shared exclusively with the CBS 2 investigators.
It's a criminalization of everyday activities carried out by people of color, especially if they're, Arab or Muslim.
UIC Associate Professor of Sociology and Black Studies, Andy Clarno.
I sort of went into it expecting to be angry.
And UIC PhD student Sangeeta Ravichandran also worked on the report. They both found so many of the narratives problematic.
I think the report provides very strong evidence that what we're seeing is a tool of racial profiling.
One SAR involved a Syrian student who went to his guidance counselor with anxiety about not being able to see his family in the Middle East. That guidance counselor went to police.
The fact that these personal things were then reported to the police was really sad and showed that we have to watch what we say constantly.
Another written about a woman, quote, wearing clothing consistent with those worn by the women of the Muslim faith/religion, who was just taking pictures of the state capitol. And take a look at this one. Two dark-complected men surveying a cell tower. Turns out They were contractors assigned to do just that. But we found what's concerning isn't just what the reports say, but it's also what happens after the reports are made.
Contained and held in an FBI database for 35 years at least. These become permanent records on individuals.
For taking a photograph.
For taking a photo, something simple as that.
The AAAN says they're publishing this information for several reasons, the most important being the call to end the use of SARS. We reached out to the Chicago Police Department, Illinois State Police, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation and asked them 3 important questions. Number 1, the response to the AAAN's findings. Number 2, how long these reports stay in their databases and what agencies have access. And number 3, whether they can share examples of when SARS have been used to foil a plot or security threat of some kind. Are SARS really making us safer? None of the agencies responded to any of those specific questions. The Chicago Police Department didn't respond at all. State police and the FBI said laws prohibit them from investigating anything based solely on race or ethnicity. The experts tell us the usual argument they face is that we need surveillance to keep communities safe.
I think that we're made to believe that we need surveillance, right? I think that certain people are made to look like they need to be surveilled in order for other people to be safe. Clearly hasn't happened, and it's doing the opposite.
In Bridgeview, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.
AAAN plans to hold a news conference tomorrow at Daley Plaza to share their findings with the community. We'll be there. To read their full analysis and some of the suspicious activity reports yourself, head to cbschicago.com.